served under Zeta Prime's Autobots during the Quintessent invasion, while most of the Senate were still baby protoforms.
Thank you for your service. But the Autobots are a thing of the past.
Ah! Well, how dare you! We may have been disbanded, but some of us still function. Yet the Senate doesn't seem to care about that.
Everything okay over here?
Everything's fine, officer.
We are just trying to do our shift at our posts, but this Energon drunk won't leave us alone. He's making us quite nervous, in fact.
Ha! Is the Senate really letting punks like you be their guards? Hey!
I can take Gramps back to Police HQ if you two would like to file a report.
Yes, please.
Well, you were harassing 2 innocent Senate guards at their post.
No one who works for the Senate is innocent. They have no regard for us common folk, especially veteran Autobots.
You keep mentioning the Autobots. Who are they exactly?
Sigh. You young bots really don't know your history. Well, you know about the 13, right?
I'm very aware about the story of the 13.
Well, we all know the 13 were the original Primes, but after their order has fallen, only one bot were to be granted the title of Prime at a time, and each new Prime were chosen by the powerful artifact, the Matrix, for when the people need a hero, a champion to light their darkest hour. Nova Prime was the first bot chosen after the 13's fall.
And the Autobots are related how?
If you let me finish, I'll tell you. So Nova Prime formed the Autobots, an order of heroic bots, followers in the ways of the 13. Their purpose was to serve the people of Cybertron and defeat the forces of any darkness. After Nova Prime vanished, that's when the Quintessence invaded. So again, the Matrix chose another worthy bot named Zeta Prime. That's when I joined the Autobot, to help Zeta drive back the forces of the Quintessence. Then after Zeta, there was Nominus Prime, but with his recent death, we now have no Prime.
So, there's no need for the Autobots at the moment. I still don't understand why that's a reason to hate the Senate.
Fraggin' Senate used to have some honor. Now it's just a pit of young, wealthy zeros. Ain't done squat for us Autobot vets like me.
HQ, we have a reported incident of a public disturbance involving 2 miners from Tarn and several Senate guards.
It can't be a coincidence.
So, what went down this time?
Well, Captain, we're still figuring that out, but we know it was a brawl. We got 3 of the suspects already in custody, and we got an officer talking to one of the miners who was a witness.
What's the name of the witness?
Megatron, sir. Why? What is that?
Oh, nothing. I just think he dropped something.
I'm Megatron of Tarn. I've always had dreams and ambitions, but I am restricted to only serve as a miner from birth to death. I have no idea for the reason behind it, but I have been told it is the doing of the Senate. But I've also had fellow workers vanish without a trace after speaking out against certain unfair conditions. I have seen my friends be beaten by Senate guards for speaking out against the Senate. So I have 3 important questions for the Senate. Question 1, in whose interest do you exercise power? Question 2, to whom are you accountable? And question 3, how do we get rid of you?
With our current energon crisis, I think it is in our best interest to install these automated mining devices.
Power? Are you sure it's not just your best interest, fellow Senator Ratpat?
And what about the miners? We already decided that there's no other jobs for them.
We will find more tasks for them, but they are a disposable class for a reason. Also trust me on this. It will benefit all of us. These automated mining devices are way more efficient, which means profit will weep in more quickly while still having more reserved energon. Plus, we'll be able to soon pay off our debts to the off-road.
Esteemed members of the 113th Cybertronian Senate, honorable descendants of the sacred primal lineage, I want a word with you. You all sit in session, detached from the real world, giving orders designed to keep the rest of us in check. And if anyone steps out of line, if anyone thinks a rogue thought, you tighten the screws. I never realized this until I met a miner from Tarn, a friend who had so much to say that he couldn't find the words. He was a miner by design, not by choice. He wanted the freedom to choose his own fate, not have it decided by a ruling elite who presume to know best. And only now do I recognize the limits you put on our freedom. And you do it because you're terrified of anything you can't control. I guarantee you all know about the secret order of the Autobots. The ones who followed the ways of the Primes and always fought for a free Cybertron. The names come from the word automatons. It was to remind themselves that we make the machines, but we are still capable of thought and emotion. So as of today, as of right now, I lay claim to that name. Henceforth, I am an Autobot, and it's Autobots like me who outlive institutions like this one, unless you change your ways.
Sentinel, we move
There are 3 questions my friend had. 3 things you should demand to know of any powerful constitution. Question 1, in whose interest do you exercise your powers? Question 2,
You've sinned enough. Come along.
just let me finish. To whom are you accountable? And 3, how do we get rid of you?
Thank you for agreeing to meet me.
It's the least I could do. I gather I owe you my freedom.
It wasn't easy, but I couldn't see a Cybertronian of your caliber get sent to prison. Or worse.
You're a senator, aren't you? You were in the crowd when I held forth. Why did you save me after my diatribe?
Because you were right. And because you were wrong. The Senate is far worse than you have been led to believe. One of the reasons I wanted to meet you here was because this is one of the last places where the Senate isn't spying. You know how Nominus Prime died, right?
Yeah, a rust infection. It was also not too long ago.
Wrong, I'm afraid. He was killed. But not by the Senate, but by a faction within the Senate. Not that I can prove it yet.
But why would they do that?
Simple. A Prime is more influential. So with the Prime out of the picture, the Matrix is left unguarded, and without a chosen one. So the Senate has all the time they can do, figure out how the Matrix creates life.
The Matrix can create life?
Yes, and if the Senate can control the Matrix, they can control anything. There's a war coming, Orion. A war that will split this world into 2. Battle lines are already being drawn. Sides are being taken. It's just a matter of time.
What's my role in all this? What do I do?
Optimus, you're a cop. Go back to work. Don't worry, I'll be in touch. Oh, can you ask what your role is on all of this? Look inside yourself. You might find the answer.
Wait! What's your name again?
The name's Shockwave.